Okay, at this video we're gonna continue talking about the classes, different classes in IP address. So we said that in class B, subnet mask is 255. This was class A, and class B 255 255.00. This was the portion for the host and for the network. How many we can find? See the number of hosts and number of this, because there are 8 plus 8, here 8 is 16, and 8 plus 8 16. The power of 16 is going to be 65 536, and the same for this one. 65 5 is equal to the power of 16. The number of hosts and the number of networking is equal. So you can do this by 2 is equal 255 times 255. You know, you will get 256 actually. $256, but because you know this is we're talking about 128. This is again 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, the same thing, and the number of hosts. There are 16 of them. See, 8 bits. 8 bits, 16 bits. Okay, and this is 16 bit. They're equal. So the number of hosts and the number of network are the same. Now we get to the point that we have, and then we have class A. Class A in class A the number of the hosts is much bigger. This is 8, 8, 16, 24, 24, and this is 6, 8. The way you find the number of the host is number of hosts equal 2 to the power of 24, and the number of subnet or network, you know, it's going to be network is going to be 2 to the power of 8. So it is in class A, 2 to the power of is 16 million. 16 million 77 217 2 to the power of 24 over 16, and minus 2 because then we talked about why minus 2, because one of them belong to network and one of them belong to broadcast. So the actual number of hosts usable is going to be 16,777,214, and this one is going to be 2 to the power of 8 2 to the power of 8, 256. So here the number of network is less. Now here the number of the host is a lot bigger, a lot larger. Okay, so we just go through this, like for example, we could just go through this a little bit more detailed, the number of hosts and the number of network. You know, you have a class C. It's like, for example, 201.43.110.0. This is the network address, and this is class C. So it's going to be subnet mask. It's going to be 255, 255, 255, 0. So when you see something like that, it's over 192. So it's in class C. So we are going to find out that actually this is 20. This is 24. What does that mean, 24 there? 24 means that there are 21s. There are 21s in there. It means that 24, it means 24 ones. What it means? It means that we have, okay, and then 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8. 8 of them. Mean 24 means there are 24 ones. And this one is 8, 0. So always when you see the Sidder notation, you see that when you see that there are 24 ones. So the number of the host, is 24 bits. The number of network is 24 bits. But for host is 28. As we talked about it earlier, that you said the number of hosts is 2 to the power of 8. This is host, and this is network. This is network. How many you assign? How many bits? The number of the network, it shows how many bits you assigned to network, and how many, the number of bits, 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 24, 3, 8, 24. So the number of the host minus 2, the usable host is going to be 254. But the number of subnet here, the number of subnet is 24. So to the power of 24 is going to be, you know that, you find it, So we talked about this earlier. 2 to the power of 24, so 16 million to 16. See the number of subnet. So you see the number of subnet is much bigger. So you know when you have a lot of hosts, you know you have a lot of computer here, a computer, and these are the hosts, and maybe there are many of them here, and all these are connected to a router, and here there might be another 100 of these hosts, you know. So it depends your company how many does it need. If the number of a host is we'll talk about this later soon. We go into the details. So we you know, this is a router through the switch. It's connected to a router. Here you have a switch, and there are maybe hundreds of these, 50, 100, whatever. This is one network, and this is another network. So there are maybe 100 hosts, 100 hosts here, 200. Still okay, and only there are two networks. Usually you need more hosts than networks. In some places, in some maybe it's the opposite way of that. So we say the number of hosts is 24, but the first host, so it's going to be the first host. It's going to be 201.3.110, and then it's 1. Okay, the first host. The last host is going to be 201. See, 0.3.110.254, and 255 is the broadcast. The same thing here. For the broadcast. So there are 254 hosts you can use on this Class C network. Now we are going to talk about Class B. Class B. Class B. Class B, as we talked about, the number of hosts is 16 bits, and the number of the network is 16 bits. Host network. Okay, so here we find out is all of the number of hosts is 2 to the power of 16 minus 2. That is going to be 65,534. And the number of subnet, the number of network, is 2 to the power of 16. It's got a 65,536. 536. The number of the network is equal, but you deduct 2 from host for that reason that we talked about it. So So the first host is going to be like this is suppose that this is class B and this is 16. What does 16 here means? The number of these ones. The 16 there, 16 ones, 8 here, 16. So the first host is going to be 2. Okay, this is the class B. It's going to be less than 120, 192, 180. So this is going to be 183, and then the first host is going to be 183.01. The first host. The last host means the number of the hosts, and then we talk about what the last one or the first one. So it's going to be 180, 3, 255, 254, the last host, and these are for broadcast. Broadcast is going to be 180, 3, 255, 255. So now we talk about class A. So explain again summary of what we see. There are 16 bits of hosts. There are 16 bits of network. Did you find that the number of the hosts you put 8 plus 8, it's going to be 16. To the power of 16 is going to be showing how many hosts you can have. And the number of hosts and the number are almost equal. Number of network and hosts are equal. I'll give you another example here. We have class A now. Class A, start from less than 126 is 80, for example. Okay, and this is 0. The network address is there, and this is going to be 8. And the subnet mask, for this one, the subnet mask, for the last one here, the subnet mask was this, for class B. For class B, there are 255, 00. But for class A, we only have 255.00 class A, and then here you are going to have 80. So here the number of hosts now is different. The number of hosts is going to be 3824. 24 bits for host and only 8 bits for network. This is a class A now. This is class A, and 8 is for A. Remember that we say less than 126, from 1 to 126 is going to be class A. Okay, and then from 128 to 191 class B, and from 182 to 233 class C. So this is class A. class 8, the subnet mask is 255. Means there are only 8 bits for network. Now we are going to find out we are going to find number of the host. See, this is 24. The number of hosts is equal to 2 to the power of 24 minus 2. See, this way it was 16,777, 214, right? Because 2 to the power of 24 is 2.16 minus 2, it's going to be 2. And 2 to the power of 4 is going to be 2 to the power of 8. It's going to be 256. The number of network is 2, is 8. See, we add all these together is going to be 32. Because there are 32 bits. And 256. The network. What is going to be the first host? The first host. You know, we will did get the first host. The first host is going to be 80.0.0.1. The first host, the last host. We're talking about, we're writing IP address for the first host with the last host. It's going to be 80, 255, 255, 254. This is the last host. And for broadcast, it's going to be 80, 255, 255, 255 for the broadcast. Okay. Actually, you know, the first host here, it belongs to network, and then, but usable one is 254. Uh, 253 actually, because the first one is always used for network, and the last one is for broadcast. So what we did here, we go through this summary. We have 80.0, you know, the IP address is showing in between. There are 8 bytes, 32 bytes. There are 4 bits, the 32 bits and 4 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4, or octet, we call it. So what between the subnet mask for this one was 22, 255, 0, 0, 0. You see 8 here, 8, it shows the number of the bits network. I mean 8 ones. So what we did, the host 24, these are the 0 are for the bits. 24 bits is going to be this much, this number of the host. We have a lot of hosts here, but the network, the number of network is only 256. So it is the number of network is less, and as you go to the class B, C, B, at B, the number of hosts, you know, 0, this was 0, 0, 0, 3. And this is class A. Okay. Class B, was ones. See if this is 1, it's going to be class B. And again, this is class C. See? The number of hosts is minimum, the number of networks is maximum. So I hope you learn these things, you know, it's now we are getting to the next point. You see that in many cases you will see that like in some cases you will see that for example 192, 168, 210, 240, and then southern notation is 26. What does this mean? What does this mean? You know, it means that there are 26 ones. See, this is class C. This is class C because it's from 192 to 33. Here, the first octet is 192. And what it means? It means 26 ones. And this is 24. Not 26. 1, 2. Then the rest is 0. Okay? And this is 24. From here it's 6 only. 6 bits. Actually, you borrow 2 bits. We have now more network. This is 26 now. This is 24 plus 2 is going to be 26. So you borrow 2 bits, and so every time you see like that, if you see 29, what's going to be? 24, 25, 26, 7, 28, 29, and then only 3 bits for. And from here to here is 29. Only 29 bits, you know, for network, and